If you combine SNAF with Ruber House's classic 1920s-30s animation, you get 5 new fungal knights. This Fangame is very interesting because of its visual style, yes, but also because of its story. Instead of focusing only on the security guard, we can also see the perspective of the children who have been murdered. So join me as I analyze it. As shown on the menu, this unique style appears throughout the game. I must admit, Freddy Fazbear's face reminds me of Bendy in the Ink Machine. I think any character with that animation style would have the same effect. Our adventure begins when we enter and start a new game here. We can see how our guard finds the notice looking for help at Freddy Bear's Pizza Parlor. After that, the story takes a turn to focus solely on Cassie. Apparently, she is just becoming aware as a ghost, and then she meets Jeremy, another missing child. He invites her to join the other victims, who are Susie, Fritz, and Gabe, each with their own wounds. They start talking, and apparently they only know that the one who killed them was the security guard. Although the other kids accept it, she seeks revenge and convinces them to help her using the animatronics. Jeremy was the first to go through Bonnie for that. The office is very similar to what we've seen before, except this time you can only close the left door, and you have to keep the click pressed to do it, and of course you can press Freddy's plush nose in the office. We also have the monitor, which has changed notably, now featuring camera switches, a monitor off button, and a power indicator. Honestly, I don't see the point since we seem to have enough power at night. We're told in advance that Bonnie will be the antagonist in this first opportunity. This feels kinda random. In fact, in camera 3 we can see how it turns its head and plays a song. This shouldn't be too much of a problem, but what they do is stop going to jail and leave. If it disappears from camera 6, it's likely on our left, so we should close the door. And while that animation was great, it only happens the first time. The next time the door will just close, it will leave. And honestly, this night is simple. Bonnie isn't a threat by himself and is easy to avoid, which is fine since we're just starting. The real challenge will be dealing with combinations of animatronics, trust me. After the night ends, we'll play the Bonnie Bash minigame, hitting them to reach a minimum score and skip 2 hours in the next night. It's like the plush trap minigame in FNaF 4. Continuing, Jeremy admits he failed to catch the guard. They suggest Gabe could join through Freddy, but in the end they decide on Susie, so on the second night we'll face her. She won't come alone. Her cupcake will be there too, surfing on our desk. We have to click on it, because if we don't, we'll have to deal with it starting to do random things inside the office, like closing the doors. It's really annoying. And what about Chica? She'll enter through the right door, walk through the office, and exit. We just need to avoid blocking her path with the door. There's also a version where she rolls out, which is pretty XD+. We'll face this dilemma from time to time. Sometimes Bonnie appears, so we either quickly kick Bonnie out or let the girl through. After that, the Bonnie Bash minigame starts. Cupcake will be here too. Honestly, I didn't know what to do with Cupcake, so I just ignored it. But apparently that's not what you should do, since I lost at least one June Scary. I guess you also had to click on it. Susie fails to catch the guard, and Cassie, realizing her plan is failing, pleads with Gabe to help. He reluctantly agrees, and the three prepare for the third night. It looks like Fritz is joining the party since he was the first to attack him. Foxy will come when you least expect it, and you'll see him running in camera 6. To prevent this, you just have to close the door so he gets stuck in the hallway. Likewise, it's important to know that we can see him directly in camera 4 inside his pirate cove. On the other hand, Freddy has some of the same functions as in SNAF 1 since we usually hear him laughing. Whenever he switches cameras, he'll head to camera 6. When he vanishes, turn off the lights or monitor to stay unnoticed. With all 4 animatronics, things get tricky since unlucky combinations can force tough choices. Choose wrong and you're in trouble. Anyway, it was finished, though not the game. Honestly, I don't know what I'm saying wrong, but since I'm pretty chill, I didn't worry about it. Returning to the story, they fail to catch him. Interestingly, Fritz's pirate patch made him miss the 2 hallways, so Foxy always used the left door. They devise a new plan. Foxy distracts the guard by moving through all the cameras, letting the others enter the office to begin the 4th night. As we can assume, Foxy's mechanics are going to change now. When he leaves his pirate cove, we'll have to look for him on the cameras and throw him back several times until he returns to his normal position. If we don't act quickly, he'll come on his own and we'll die. The difficulty with these 4 animatronics is now much more obvious. The change in Foxy's mechanics makes it easy for you to get distracted by one and die. Foxy takes up a lot of your time, and at the same time, you have to pay attention to the others. Also, that night I learned what happens if Chica leaves the office when Bonnie is there. She steps on his foot as she enters. I saw this unique character. I don't know if it's Fredbear or a reference to another Fangame, but I find it very interesting. It's a shame that it's just an Easter egg. And after dying 1,000 times, finally, in one of his attempts, he managed to beat the knight. Although I lost the minigame again, but at this point I didn't care anymore. Cassie seems to be losing a bit of faith in her companions. So, she tries to figure out how someone can get into one of the suits, and it turns out that if you died near one, you can possess it. So Cassie sends Chica to look for a suit, being the chosen one, Golden. Freddy sends the kids to retrieve his body and place it inside the animatronic, allowing Cassie to intervene at night. Here's how Night 5 starts with the full original crew again. If Night 4 wasn't enough, this one will be. Honestly, I think the difficulty mainly comes from randomness. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it's obvious. There were times when I lost just moments after starting, and other times when the animatronics took a long time to show up. Personally, I think that's something that should be adjusted. I've already completed the night. Golden Freddy intervenes. Here's how our battle with Cassie starts. A one-on-one match where losing even distorts the menu. Honestly, it keeps the scary theme, but using the established animation style makes stopping Golden Freddy easy. If we see that the portrait in front starts to change in a very strange way where we see him, does that mean we have to turn off the lights? Also, if we see him running through the cameras, we have to pay attention to which direction he's going, since this one can come through both doors. And now, as if by magic, we have the ability to close the right door. Also, just to make things more annoying, a hand may randomly appear to switch cameras. His hat will show up on the desk like Cupcake, and the sides will narrow. To avoid this, simply pass Mox through. Honestly, this is a very interesting night, both because of the new mechanics and the animations. And the overall character of Golden Freddy definitely stands out compared to the others. And it's not surprising, since we've seen how Cassie is the one with the greatest thirst for revenge among all the souls. Even so, this character isn't safe from randomness either. Sometimes the running animation starts while you're busy, so you don't know its direction and have to guess which door it'll come through. It's fun but stressful. You lose track of time, and I lost count of how many times I died. In the end, the best strategy I could find is to always keep the cruiser on one of the edges, in this case on the left, since this way you avoid the sides getting narrower. You have to keep switching between the office and cameras to stop it from sneaking in through the center and to track where it's coming from. Once it's over, Golden Freddy will appear to finish us off, but fortunately the edges become our allies and decapitate him. Very random, I know, although I guess it fits with the rhythm and tone of the video game. Likewise, we can see how our protagonist leaves in his car, finally finishing his week at this place. Cassie is upset, finds the guard's badge, and learns his name is Charlie. Freddy then reveals their killer is unnamed. In the end, we learn it was Vinnie Smith, suggesting they tried but failed to kill an innocent person. Luckily, everyone leaves the office, concluding this video game story. Once the main nights are over, we'll have access to Charlie's house, that is, the house of our protagonist. Here, we can find a note from his daughter, the extras, and the custom night, which brings many more new characters. Going deeper into the extras, we can find the character section, where you can see a description of each one. And something curious is that if we click on their portraits, we'll be redirected to a page, which can be very random at times. Subscribe.
Chicken jockey! Chicken jockey!
Subscribe. We also have the Chumskers cameras, letting you pick which animatronics you see behind the scenes. Want to see the creative process of making this fan game, a night selector? And the Geolord Night, or Night of Screams, which is what the night against Golden Freddy is called. In fact, when you lose and see the distorted menu, you can see that same word, Geolord. If you beat the normal night on your first try, nightmare mode is hell, right? Thanks, I'll stop here. Regarding the custom night, I was really surprised to see new faces. I thought we had already seen all the animatronics, but they gave us new surprises. Each one has its own peculiar mechanics, and believe me, it's very difficult. Also, what caught my attention the most was seeing Rat from FNaF here with his classic mechanic of pointing the cursor at his face. If you just want to play with them, you should try the Fangame Frenzy challenge. Only they are active and have their own loading screen. Frederick appears in the office. Unlike Chica, you must make him crash into the door. Moose is kept away with the cameras. Use the cursor to keep Cone's mouth open and touch Puck Ghost's nose. I said twice that it adds interesting new mechanics. It's a shame they're not in the main story, but it would be troublesome. I think they fit well as secondary characters. This Fangame stands out for its animation, humor, story perspective, and characters, though I still find it very unfair. On several occasions, overall you can tell that it's well made. With better balance in difficulty and randomness, the impact would be greater, but I still highly recommend the game. I love how its art and humor tell the story of the missing children's souls, where we can see how Cassie wants revenge and encourages the others to find ways to attack the security guard, which has a direct impact on us when we play at night. Every animatronic we see activated in the story, or when we hear that it will change its behavior, gives us a hint of how this will affect us. This Golden Freddy ending is epic, with a terrifying vibe like a cursed tape or Mickey Mouse creepypasta. They played their cards well, and those extra animatronics are just that. That's not leaving this game, it's about missing people, and well, before I say goodbye, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I'll likely release this video between the 22nd and 25th. Hope you're enjoying Christmas with your family and maybe got some gifts. I hope so. That's all. See you in the next video.